Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Zebra Nation Plays the FM Scout Academy Challenge with FC Dallas. And here we are in the Western Conference Finals. Take a look at the competition here. Season 8 Western Conference Finals versus Minnesota. We're already into the second leg. Now let's take a look at how we got here on the schedule. First of all, we won the Supporter Shield, and therefore we qualified for the second leg, or the semifinals of the playoffs. We didn't have to worry about the wild card. And then we beat up on Old Sporting Kansas City pretty good, 4-1 in the first leg, 2-0 in the second leg. So really beat them pretty badly, 6-1 overall in aggregate. And now we're going up against Minnesota, the team that finished second place in the Western Conference, third place in the Supporter Shield. And we've already beaten them 3-0 in the first leg in the away match. So we'll take a look at those highlights here. And, we're starting to show our dominance. It's been that kind of season. We're healthy going into the playoffs, and everybody is really pumping on all cylinders, so it's pretty good. Take a look here. We really dominated in terms of our ratings. Just look at all these high ratings. Everybody over 7.0 ratings, and then their ratings were, really in the tubes, man. A lot of 6.4, 6.2, 6.3. Did not play well. We really took care of them in the first half with all three goals coming in the first half. So let's take a look at those goals right now. Hear the sound of the crowd as Guevara doesn't do very good on that kick, honestly. But we retain possession, get it forward to Washington, who wins the header, as he often does, and he gets the return pass from McCrecky. And I thought that was going to be the goal, but I guess not. This is a longer highlight than I remembered. Here's Van de Castile. Guevara gets it out wide to Cole, who beats his man. And then it's Cole who centers it. And there's Washington. Hits the post, but then gets the rebound. And here, even the Minnesota crowd appreciates that. They need to work on their boo soundtrack. There should have been more boos there. And here's Van de Castile on the free kick. Bounces off the post. But Alcantara is there to clean up the garbage, put it back in the net. And that gives us a 2-0 lead, right? Just 24 minutes in. Now here we are, 30 minutes. Washington has it. Zamora gets the pass to McCrecky. Back to Washington. Washington onside, beats the goalkeeper near side, and that's Diaz. Diaz played very well this season. He was one of the top goalkeepers in the league, and we beat him pretty handily, 3-0. So there we are going into the second leg of this competition. Let's take a look now at our team selection for Minnesota. I guess we'll take a look at Minnesota's team selection, give you a feeling of who's on their team. Marco Diaz, who's, as I mentioned, he's 37 years old, so he's pretty old, but he's played well this season. They got some names. Who are we looking at? Yeah, Kiri Shelton. He's a guy who's been around for quite a while. I think he starts out on New York City FC. He's a guy that I used to pick up in FM17. He was a pretty good all-around striker, not necessarily a goal scorer, but you could put him out at the wing. You could put him at like defensive forward and stuff like that. So he's a versatile dude. 30 years old, though. He's getting a little old. James Ramirez is a very good striker. He's very technical, dribbling, finishing, first touch, all that kind of stuff. So they got some decent firepower up front. They've just got to find a way to use it against us. So now we're going to take a look at our team selection, and I'm going to take this opportunity. It might be a huge mistake, but I'm going to take this opportunity to play some different players. And one of the things we're going to do is we have to rest our fullback Cole because he's got a slight injury. Not a lot, just a little bit of an injury, like a pulled hamstring or something like that. So he's only going to be out for a couple of days, but we can't play him. We can't risk him. He's very important at this moment to our team. So we need to play some of the young guys. We're going to play our rookie Bruce Wheat at the right side, and then we're going to bring in Ian Garcia, another academy player, 19-year-old left defender, a guy with a decent amount of potential, but he's got physical properties that I don't enjoy. He's got 5 jumping reach, which is not enough for the way that I like to play defense. And also his tackling and marking aren't that very good, really. So he's kind of a risk, but Makopa, who has been playing well, I think he's physically getting beaten down. You look at all of his stats are just on the decline. So he needs a rest as well. You know, being only 18 years old, the pressure of the playoffs and all that stuff, going to give him a rest as well. Then we're going to bring in a couple of other guys. We're going to bring in Patrick Guldan. He's losing his match fitness. We need to make sure his match fitness is up there. We're going to bring in Ben Manning, our, basically our academy phenom here. He's only 20 years old. He's already one of the better strikers in the league, and he should be getting more playing time, but he's just not. So we really need to get him in there and, again, get his match fitness back up there. So hopefully these guys are good enough to take on Minnesota and to hold on to a 3-0 lead. So there we go. Lacking match sharpness, that's fine. So hopefully we don't give away what should be an MLS Cup this season. We're playing so well. We're dominating everybody in the Western Conference. We just need to win this one game, and we're in the MLS Cup again for the 3rd straight season, so that'll be good. Ben Manning is on a fairly lengthy run without scoring a goal. Can he break his hoodoo? Yeah, sure, I believe he can. He's enthusiastic. You've sprung a few surprises with your team selection today. What was your thinking? I picked the team that gives us the best chance. Ben Manning's market value reached a point where he may now exceed his reported $4.3 million release fee. I don't want to detail that in public, but yes, I probably will look to add a higher release fee to this guy just so I don't lose him, because he's so young. I mean, I'm not ready to get rid of Washington and Alcantara yet, but I'd really like to keep Manning for when they get old. When they reach 30 or 31, we might think about getting rid of them then, but for now, no, that's not going to happen. So we're just going to try to keep him as long as possible, even if we have to make him a designated player. I don't know. So here we are, full crowd at Toyota Stadium, another sellout. This is what I like to see. I like to see these sellouts going on here. Well, there's a few empty chairs there. I don't know about this. So it looks like they do have Shelton at striker. That's going to, I think, hinder their production a little bit. But he's a tricky dude. So there's McCrecky has to come in for those fullbacks. I mean, fullbacks are going to be our Achilles heel in this game if we don't play them right. We're going to stick to our control game. It's been working so well this playoffs. We're going to just see if we can control the match against these guys. And even if we finish 0-0, it's not a big deal. Yeah. Tim Regan says the same thing every game. We're being overrun and put more crosses. That's fine. Yellow card for Zimmerman already. Don't like to see that. 25 minutes down in the first half. Time is just rolling on these guys. If they want to catch up, they're going to need to hurry up and score some goals against us, but it doesn't look like that's going to be the case. This is going to be a very uneventful recording if nothing happens. But unfortunately, we don't need anything to happen. We just need this to happen. So there we go. First half. How about them highlights? 0 highlights going on there. All right, so pep talk will be calm. Very, very happy. Keep it up. That's fine. No problems. We'll keep things going. Playing a rotated side and still pulling things out the way we are. That's pretty good. Oh, they try to get the ball to Manning. It doesn't work out. It's offsides on Manning. So here we are. 51 minutes gone already. Still 0-0. They've got a 3-goal deficit to make up. Yellow card for Van de Castile as well. I could sub those 2 guys out. They are... Ooh, there's a Yellow card for Wheat. I don't like these yellow cards now. All right, 60-minute point. We can make a couple of subs. We can bring in Guevara for Van de Castile. We can bring in Johnson for Wheat and make him a defensive fullback. And then we can save our third sub for later. I don't want to use it just yet. Zimmerman has a yellow card, but he's a veteran. He should know how to play with the yellow card, so we'll leave him in. And there we go. 60-minute substitutions. That should be all right. I don't think we should have too many problems. Here's a highlight for us. Guevara. Foul in the box for Cabrera. Ooh, pause. I know who's going to take the penalty kick. It's going to be Alcantara, right? Yeah. I mean, there's really nobody else available, but he has missed so many penalties this year. I don't know his record off the top of my head, but it's got to be like 1 out of 5. He has missed a lot of penalties this season. So there we go. Number 22 is taking it. Yep, that's Alcantara. So there we go. Hey, he slots one. The crowd goes wild. 19th goal of the year for Alcantara. He gets it on the tricky penalty kick, and here it is. The goalkeeper, he chose the right direction, but he just couldn't get there. So there we go. 4-0 up on aggregate. Not much of a chance right now. Yellow card for Smith. The crowd reacts to that one. They seem to think that was warranted. All right, so here's a highlight from Minnesota. Areola down the sideline. He gets it to Shelton. Shelton misses. Sanchez recovers to gather the ball up. That was a bit tricky. If Shelton was a better finisher, he might have done something about that, but uh-oh. There's another yellow card for Minnesota. Benedict. Here's a highlight. 74 minutes down. Garcia down the sideline. Gets tackled by Areola. Making a run. Tackle missed. Here's another tackle attempt. Nope, there's Shelton. And the ball trickles past Sanchez for the equalizer. All right, so, it's not time to panic, but it's time to get serious here. Don't need to see that highlight again. Let's make a bit of a substitution here. Let's move him back to defense. Garcia made that mistake going down the sideline. His dribbling is really not good. I mean, he really has a lot of things I don't like about him. So I don't know how long he's going to stay on the team. But we're going to keep using him. There's a yellow card for him now. Come on, buddy. You can last another 10 minutes out there. Don't you dare get a red card. Now we got McCrecky and Zamora are a little tired. Our ratings are not great this year. Garcia's got a 6.4 rating. Don't like that. There's Zamora getting it out to Guldan. McCrecky centers it for Zamora, gets it stolen. Looks like they're putting more pressure on us at the moment. But it doesn't matter. There's full time. Alright, so not the greatest game in the world. It was a 1-1 sort of slogging affair. Congratulate the team, sure. I don't know, well done. Whatever. Good enough. How about that? Is that an option, just to say good enough? I don't think our stats are going to be particularly great. Look at our ratings, not good. Garcia, 6.4 rating. We did play several players who weren't, in the best of shape. Guldan played pretty well. 7.0 rating. That's not bad. Alcantara had a goal and still only a 6.9 rating. Manning, 6.6 rating. Not really what I'm looking for from him. But again, he wasn't that match fit. They actually didn't have much better ratings for us, especially their central defense did not look pretty good. A pair of 6.3 ratings for them. Not the best. Analysis here. Wheat did not play well. 0% cross. Good interceptions from our central defense. That's why I kept them in there. Didn't sub them out. Van de Castile, 14 interceptions. Good passing from our midfield, as always. So, like I said, not a great game. Good enough. Hopefully that doesn't mess with our mojo. Hopefully that just keeps our guys fit and ready and healthy for the MLS Cup, which is what's coming up next. We win over Minnesota. Going to try to advance the story here to see who we play in the next round. Who advances from the Eastern Conference? Will it be... I don't even know who's playing in the Eastern Conference, honestly. Let's take a look here at the competitions. Montreal versus Chicago. So Montreal was up 2-1. Let's see if they can finish it off. Continue. So depth is still an issue for us at the moment, particularly at fullback. I don't know how many times I can harp on this in one season. But since Escobedo left, we got to figure out what to do. There's a couple of options out there. There's obviously every year there's the super draft. We're not going to get much help from our academy, even though we do have some fullbacks in our academy currently. But there's also a couple of our former players out there we could go and get. So that's always an option, to go back and get some of those extra players that we let go or that were bought away from us. We can try to use some of that transfer money that we've got to steal them back. That might be a viable option too. I don't think there's anything in the rules that says you can't do that, because we've done that before, and I don't think that disqualified us from the challenge. But the rules are fairly nebulous. They're fairly flexible, so I think we should be okay. All right, so there it goes. Looks like we're playing Montreal in the MLS Cup. Did I miss that email? Yep. I zoomed right past it. So there it is. FC Dallas versus Montreal. The two top scoring teams in the league. So that's a good matchup. So they might have a bit of a chance against us. So far we've steamrolled through the Western Conference playoffs, and nobody has really come close to us. So hopefully Montreal can give us a good match. And I guess we'll see. So until then, I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.